We used to be best friends, used to do good things together. Oh no, but no more.
It's just a distant memory.
My homie, buddy, cousin, it all just fell apart. I'm sorry.
Nah, I'm not sorry.
It's just a distant memory. Yeah, yeah. My name said who's bestie? Tata Chico, come on. Tata Chico, come on. My name said who's bestie? Tata Chico, come on. Tata Chico, come on. My name said who's.
Hello.
Yo, what's up?
Hi.
Sorry, I had a minor technical glitch there. I couldn't, the
Okay.
system wasn't sending the audio, but now it's back on. Now we're connected. You good?
Amazing. I'm good. How are you?
Good. Welcome to the Feeling Station.
Thank you.
For those listening to the podcast for the first time, it's a romantic family and friendship breakup podcast showcasing stories that people would like to talk about with a view to give lessons from their experiences. I hope you find today's story entertaining, but more importantly, meaningful. Now, the podcast is popular for two main reasons. The first being I do my best to keep my guests anonymous, which brings me to the fun part for me. The part that I give you the name that you're going to use for the duration of this episode. Are you ready for this one?
Yes, I'm ready.
So, I've given you the name Chifundo. And hold on.
Chifundo.
Yeah,
Yes.
hold on. Because I know you know what that means from where you're from.
Yes.
But it also means something from where I'm from. Right?
Mhm.
So we can choose together what meaning we're going to give to this name, right?
Okay.
Tell me what that means in your language.
In my language, it
Mhm.
means grace.
Yeah, it means grace, yeah? Grace /
Yeah.
mercy, right?
Yes.
Now, in my language, chifundo means lesson. Yeah? It
Yeah.
means something that you've been taught, so it's a lesson. And because we're talking about breakups,
Yeah.
I'm inclined to make the meaning this one, not the Chewa version, but the Shona version. Because there's lessons that somebody's taught you in this thing, right?
Yes, that's true.
So we go with the Shona meaning or the Chewa meaning?
Let's go with the Chiwa meaning.
Yeah, whatever. Okay,
Until-
fine. Fine.
Come on.
Fine, we'll go with the
Of
Chewa
course you knew this.
meaning.
You knew
So, yeah, so
Okay.
Chifundo is very common in Malawi, Zambia, and Mozambique, and it means grace or mercy. And what are
Yeah.
you calling the guy that you're going to talk about?
I think I'm gonna call him Leech.
Leech.
Yes. I know.
It's a guy, right?
Yeah, it is a guy. It is a guy.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Already
So
that
I
doesn't
think-
already that doesn't sound good for a guy, to be called a leech. Okay, so we're gonna go with leech.
Yeah.
And the second reason why the podcast is doing really well is because they're
Yeah.
real life lessons that people learn from what you're gonna talk about today.
Yes.
So you got lessons for me?
Okay. So lesson number 1.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say face value doesn't mean shit anymore.
Did it ever mean shit?
It used to. It used to be like, oh, you got a pretty face. It's like, oh, that's all you
Yeah.
need.
Okay. So face value don't mean shit no more.
Yes.
And then lesson number 2.
Lesson number 2, I'm gonna say forgiveness doesn't mean that there are no consequences.
Hey,
Yes.
that's a tough one, eh?
Yeah.
Because people often think that once I've been forgiven, things go back to normal, right?
Exactly.
But
No,
it doesn't often work like that, does it?
Yeah, it
Mad.
doesn't.
Have you got a third
It
one?
doesn't. Yeah, I've got the third guess last one.
Mhm.
Guard your heart at all times, even from those that claim to have your best interests at heart.
Hey.
You
Those
see?
are, those are usually the very dodgy ones, Those are the ones that you probably shouldn't trust.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll just play those lessons back. Lesson number 1, face value doesn't mean shit anymore. Lesson number 2, forgiveness doesn't mean that there are no consequences. And then lesson number 3, guard your heart at all times, even from those that claim to have your best interest at heart.
Yes.
Cool, Chifundo. Let's get straight into this.
Okay.
Your relationship with Leech, were you guys lovers? Were you friends?
We were friends. I'm gonna say we were best friends.
Oh, so so so,
Yeah.
so this is a friendship breakup.
Yeah, this is a friendship breakup.
Fantastic. And your best friend was a man.
Yes.
Hey, where's my glass?
Yes.
Where's my glass? I need to sip to this. Oh, in fact, speaking about sipping, right? I wish you could see the drink that I'm having as I'm doing this
Yeah.
episode. Yeah, yeah. I recently
Yeah.
discovered. Okay, let me take a picture. I recently discovered a weird combination. I've just sent it to you.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, what's that?
White wine and red chilies.
No
I'm
way.
telling you,
No
it is
way. How that
abs.
doesn't even make
Oh,
sense.
do you like wines?
I do love wine. I love like dry red.
You're a red. I don't know if the reds are gonna
Yeah.
work. Well,
Yeah, I'm a red
if you're
person.
feeling adventurous with the whites, grab a white wine, grab a Sauvignon Blanc, and then add
Oh,
some red chilies.
yeah.
Try a small glass. But when you put the
Oh my
chilies in,
God.
yeah, let it chill for
Mm-hmm.
like I don't know, 10 minutes maybe. Yeah,
Yes.
and then try
Okay.
it. It's life changing. So yeah, I'm gonna
Oh my
sip on this as you
God.
tell me more about this male bestie
Yeah.
of yours. Right. So but
Okay.
where does your friendship with Leech start?
So we met on a bus going back home. We're both in uni. So
Mm-hmm.
this was 2013.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're both on the bus and like we sat at at the very back, you know that uncomfortable chair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like we're both there and like he's colored. So I was just like, oh, you know how colors, I don't know if he's gonna talk to me and all that. And apparently in his head he was also like, this mean girl, she can't even say hi, say nothing.
Mm-mm.
Anyway, we're there with I think we're like almost halfway home and then he was like, oh no, I'm Lidge. I was like, oh okay, nice to meet you, and all that. And
Mm-hmm.
then we started talking and he just couldn't stop. Like he just talked and talked and talked. I remember there was even a point where I was like, you know what, I'm tired of talking. And he was like, okay, let me send you a friend request on Facebook and then we can be texting there. So I think this is what we used to do like over the years. I think this is the guy I'd be on the phone with for like 3 hours straight and still,
So out of curiosity,
yeah.
how long was your bus ride home?
So this was 6 hours.
It
This
was
was a
6 hours,
6 hour drive.
and you
Yeah.
guys only decided to start talking after the 3 hour mark.
Yes. Yes. It was that uncomfortable.
So,
That
what's
uncomfortable.
his reason for
Yeah.
not having spoken to you sooner, or what was your reason for not having spoken to
So
him sooner?
apparently he thought that I was rude because I didn't say hi to him as I was sitting down. I didn't realize that.
Well, he didn't say hi to you either, so he's equally rude.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I
Mm,
guess we're both rude.
mm,
Yeah. So that happens. And then in my head, I was like, oh, okay, I guess the very same thoughts that, oh, you don't say hi to me. So yeah, let's just keep going. We'll not talk to each other.
mm.
And then he is the one who broke the silence. Because we're passing by his old school.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he was like, oh, hi. This used to be my old school. I was like, oh, yeah. And then I seemed interested. And then next thing you know, we're having a proper conversation.
Hmm. So let's just talk about
Yeah.
looks. I know this is a best friend, and we're not really.
Yes. Yes. So
Well, was he handsome?
this is one of those where people say, I don't think you guys are best friends. Like there should be something more because there's no way you can have such a guy for a friend.
So it was a good-looking guy.
He was a really good looking guy. 6'3", light skin. I guess light skin used to be a thing back then, but yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, like really smart guy and he dressed well as well. From then up until now he dresses well. Yeah, so like a really, really, yeah, a really smart guy. So that, like, I was telling you, like, our first experience talking like that, because that
Mm.
just used to be a thing over the years. Like,
Yeah.
that one person that you can talk to, whether you're together on the phone for literally hours and you not get bored.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you can conclude that, yeah, we knew each other very well.
So, what stopped him from asking you to be your girlfriend initially? How did you guys end up in the
Um,
friendship zone?
So when we met, he had just met his girlfriend like a year before,
Mm-hmm.
and he used to be one of those that this is the girl. I'm just gonna date one girl in my entire life, and this is gonna be the person I marry. So like whatever happens, like this is the girl.
Yeah.
And I met the girlfriend actually. I think when we got back to school,
Mm-hmm.
um, he came to my school. He was like, "Oh, this is my girlfriend," and all that. And I was like, "Oh, okay, nice to meet you." But then, yeah, so he was, and I remember even pushing him to be like, you know what, test the waters. Like, you never know what you're missing out on. Like, what do you mean you're
Test
just
what
going to have
waters. Test what waters, Chifundo.
just maybe one,
One what?
and then one girl, just for him to be sure that the girl that, he was dating, because that was his first girlfriend,
So what were you encouraging him to do?
to be sure. I
How?
don't think, I don't know. Like, what if maybe, there's somebody else out there who is your soulmate? I know I was the bad friend, but I just wanted him to be like, oh, okay, I tried this, I tried that, at least have options. I tried this, I tried that, but like, this is it for me.
So were you
Yeah.
considering yourself a test dummy?
No, never, never.
Mm.
I think he was more like he was more like a brother. I think we literally friends zoned each other from the get go. So he was more like the brother, like an older brother.
You see,
I've got like
I like how you
yes,
describe that. You describe that as we literally friend zoned each other. It does not work like
yes,
that. It doesn't work like that. One of
it does.
no,
Though.
one of you friend zoned the other. Who was it? Who friend zoned who?
I think we did. We
No.
both did.
Okay,
Yes.
who brought up the friendship conversation between you two to say let's be
We
friends?
we never had to say it. I think it was automatic that he's got a girlfriend, therefore we're going to be friends.
Okay, okay.
Yes, yes. So yeah, we were those friends. Even though there was one time, I think he was leaving the country,
Mm-hmm.
and then he asked if he could kiss me, and I was like, "That's weird. Why would you do
Hey,
that?"
you see, this is why I'm asking some of the questions I'm asking to say who friend zoned who, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I can't imagine asking
Mhm.
somebody who's my best friend and she's a female for a
Yes,
kiss.
yes.
The thought of that is borderline revolting.
Yeah, true,
So for him to
true.
be feeling like it's okay to ask that question just makes me feel like
Mhm.
maybe he had, yeah, best friend vibes, but he also had a little something on the side with your feelings for
A
you.
little something on the side.
Now, did you
Yeah.
know this from before the day he asked you for a kiss?
I didn't know that. Like, I think that's why I reacted that way. Literally, I was like, why would you do that? Like, it's really gross. And then he was like, oh, okay. But then it's something that I just dismissed. Yes, I
Mm.
was the one who friend zoned him. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. So, going forward, everything else is great. Up until he had left the country. Um, and then he was gonna visit for like a month or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he takes me, he's like, oh, I'm gonna come through in like let's say 2 months or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay, that would be nice. And then he says, yeah. Um, and then this is when things got weird because he started
Mm.
using words like, oh dear, oh babe, type of thing. So I was like, you barely, you don't do this. So what's going on?
Yeah, so this already makes me want to ask the question. So he's
Yes.
calling from abroad. I'm coming to visit you.
Mm-hmm.
Hi
Mm-hmm.
babe, blah 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 blah. Was he still with his girlfriend or they
Mm.
had broken up?
Yeah. So now he's broken up with the girlfriend.
Why did they break up?
So it's now been a year since they broke up. Oh yes, I should have said. So like
Mm.
things, so they have dated. So this is say last year,
Mm-hmm.
and she's met this girl in 2012.
Yeah.
Because they met in 2013. So that's like almost 9, 10 years or
Yeah.
thereabout.
Yeah.
So I think once he moved, so he went to one country, he went to London for
Mm-hmm.
school and
Mm-hmm.
for a job. And the girlfriend then also had left Malawi and gone to China. So
Oh.
now they're like, yeah, so they're very distant apart. And then somehow they break up. Oh, he didn't tell me, by the way, like what had happened. We're just like, oh no, we're just fighting. And the other problem was whenever they'll fight, he'll come to me, he vents, and then he's fine. And the girl would be like, "Oh, okay, I know you were talking to Chifundo, and that's why you don't want to deal with me, or something like that." And I'd be like, "You know what, Leech? Go back to your girlfriend, sort things out and all
Mm,
that." So that used to happen back and forth up until he was like, "Okay, I'm done."
mm,
So now he's done, and in between now he goes through like a whole phase. So now he's just like this one girl after the other, one girl after the other, because it's just like it's hard for me to find. I feel like he had been looking for the girlfriend and the girls he was meeting. So
right.
he'll just find like something like, oh no, she's not like this. Oh, she's not like that. And I would tell him, like, it's going to be hard for you to find somebody. I know you guys and those girls were together for a very long time, but it would be hard to find exactly that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so he is in his whole phase now. He can just call any other girl beautiful, hi dear type of thing. I'm like, okay, I understand. You are in your zone.
Mm-hmm.
And then now I think the part that I started hating, he started like talking to me as he would talk to a girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
To be like, oh, I can't wait to come to Malawi, I really want to spend time with you. By the way, he was gonna be here for a month, and he was like, you know what? The first week, I want to stay at your place. And then I was like, okay, that doesn't make sense. You and I are friends. Why would you be
I think
coming
I think it makes
here?
sense because he's your best friend. The best friend wants to hang out with their best friend, so you stay at the house. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, but like it's a. Oh, by the way, I'm staying in a house that I'm sharing with a housemate, and I only have my bedroom.
Okay.
So if he's coming to stay with me, that meant he had to share my bed with me.
Yeah.
No, 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 no. Like we weren't close like that.
But you just said he was your best friend.
Yes, so but like my best friend that I cannot sleep in the same bed with. Again, but I told you that he is a very good looking person. So it's one of those where you say, I've got a best friend who is hot, but nothing can happen as long as you stay far away, type of thing.
Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm,
Yes,
mm-mm.
yes,
Chifundo,
yes,
Chifundo.
Tinto.
Hold on. At the beginning of this thing, you were disgusted when he
Yes,
said, I want to kiss you, which
yes,
sounds like the best friend that you know nothing will
yes,
ever happen. Your
yes.
language is sounding very different right now.
Well, now we have grown and we have turned into, very good looking people, you know?
So now you have feelings for Leech.
Not I have feelings, but I appreciate who and what he is, type of thing. It's like you appreciate a certain drink, but you're not going to take it.
What's
Like the drink
changed?
so like now you have grown into, I don't know, I guess you've gotten closer, and then you're grown, you're like, oh, okay, he's a very good looking person, or she's a very good looking person. Puberty hits a little different.
Of all the things that hit different, I never imagined I'd hear the day when somebody says that puberty hits different.
Yes, it
Ah,
does. So it
okay.
can go the other way, or it can go to the way where you're like, ooh la
Mm,
la, this has been here this whole time. So
okay.
you don't want to tempt yourself to put in each other, like in those situations where you'd be tempted to do something
So you
sneaky.
basically didn't trust yourself around Leech.
I didn't, to be honest. I didn't.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was like, wait, what does this mean? And then he would say things like, oh, by the way, I could have chosen to go see my parents first, but I decided to come here and be with you
Mm.
again. So now I'm like, what does he mean? So, as I go, I talk to my friends and be like, what does he mean by this? And then some are like, no, I think he likes you. Or maybe, oh, I think, he wants you guys to be something more. Like he's already calling you all these sweet pet names. He's only talking about, the first person I want to see and spend time with is you. Like there could be something more. So he goes on with this behavior where, like,
Mm.
now I'm actually starting to believe that maybe he actually means that. And then I'm like, wait, okay, I'm going to need to have a conversation with this person if this really truly is what it means.
Right. I'm going to
So,
ask you a question. Assuming
yeah,
it was what it really was,
yeah,
were you excited about that?
I was excited about it.
So you liked Leech. Or you'd grown to like Leech?
I grew to like Lish.
How? I know you said puberty
Um,
hits differently. I'm not
yes,
even gonna.
he
I'm not gonna talk about that, right? But this person is
yes,
away from you, so
hmm
you're not in the same
yes,
intimate space.
hmm
So I don't know if you
yes,
can talk about physical attraction because already when you tried to kiss him, you're like, "Ew, no, what's that
yeah,
about?" Yeah.
yeah,
So I'm not
yeah,
sure I can talk
mm,
about physical attraction. Um,
yeah,
but you guys have always been talking for a while. Right at the beginning, you said you guys
yeah,
would speak for 2-3 hours.
yes.
So nothing
So
there is
it's
different.
but like the way that you're talking and like the way you're seeing him go through life, the way he interacts with people, because we'll be on video calls, so like the way he'll just like help out, like in that moment, you'd be like, oh, this is a really good person, you know? So it was in the way how like he was able to move to a whole different country and you're seeing him like making friends one day or the other. Despite either way, he's still talking about, oh no, I was on the phone call with
Hmm.
mom. He appreciates his family.
Chifundo. Listen,
Yes,
one of the things that's
yes,
important about this podcast is
yeah.
honesty and just bringing yourself bare with the
hmm
truth.
Yes.
I- I'm getting vibes that, somewhere along the lines you had undercover feelings for Leech. Undercover ones, ones that you weren't willing to explore, maybe because you felt you were too
Yes.
young.
Yeah.
But now
Maybe.
but now you've grown up and maybe you feel like, yeah, it's okay to
Mhm.
express myself because you know yourself better.
Yes. Yes. I guess you can put it like that.
So was he ever a best friend? Because now I'm trying to see which way
He
this
was.
this episode should be going. Should I be thinking about a friendship breakup, or I should be thinking about a romantic
He
breakup?
was. He was a best friend. He was a best friend.
Okay, I'll let you
He really
continue.
was.
Okay, I'll let you
Yes. Yes.
continue. So he's coming. He says, "I want to sleep in your bed." You're like, "I'm not sure. I don't trust myself." And then what happens?
Yeah. And then so he gets here. I picked him up from the airport. And then on the
How
way,
was your hug at the airport? Did it feel nice?
it felt nice.
Was it a short one?
No, it was a very long one.
Was he rubbing your
Yeah.
back?
He picked me up from the floor, sword around. It was really cute.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
It was really cute. And we got on the car and he calls his best friend. He's like, oh, my girl just picked me up. And then I'm
Mm.
like, your girl. Anyway, we're going to talk about this. We get home, everything is okay. And then we wake up in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
We get up in the morning. Oh, by the way, stuff happened the previous night,
I don't understand what stuff means.
Staff as in people that sleep in the same bed
Chifundo, what did you
together.
do with
And at
Leech?
this point, at this point, you're very much attracted to each other, and there's like a whole sexual tension.
Yeah, talk to me straight. What did you and Leech do?
Me and Leech slept together.
You had sex.
Yes, we did. It was amazing. It was.
I'm trying to make sense of you saying no to a kiss, but yes to a
Mhm.
penis.
I mean, at this point, like we are very, there's a whole sexual tension, and like I feel like with him telling me, "Oh no, I want to meet you, I want to do this," I was now very open to be like, "Okay, maybe with me and Rich can be a thing." So now he comes through, and there's that whole sexual tension, and you're like, "Okay, maybe let's see if the sex is going to flop." We just move on. It's going to be good, then maybe we can talk about, what I'm doing. So now,
Yeah.
so now I'm like, wait, I'm going to pick up, a good time to like talk about our feelings.
Wait a minute. So so you're going to determine the decision on
Yes.
to have a friendship or relationship on sex.
Yes. Yes. I mean, why would I go ahead with a
Hmm.
very bad sex experience? We just be like, well, worst of sin. Let's move on. Fine.
Okay, go on.
And so now, like, by the way, I have now, like, welcomed the whole idea of maybe me and Lish could be a thing. we're going to talk about, this whole tension that him and I are having. We're in bed together. He was showing me something on his phone. Next thing you know, I see a text pop up that says, "Hey, babe." And then I'm like, wait a minute. As far as I'm concerned, he has just been hoeing around. He didn't have like a relationship. And
Mm,
then I'm thinking he had started calling me babe. And I'm like, am I one of those, I
mm.
guess, girl best friends that, he can just do whatever? I was like, okay, you know what? Never mind. I'm going to talk about this later. And then I go and make us breakfast. He comes anyway. He's like, oh, the food is great. And he's like, oh, by the way, you've got competition in, I think it was Jamaica or something. And then I was like, what do you mean I've got competition? Like, what's going on here?
Mm.
And he's like, oh, no, there's another girl that really knows how to cook. I'm just saying, you guys are like similar. I was like, no, 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 no. Like, this is not what's happening here. And also, so now I'm like, wait, maybe this is the right time to talk. I was like, wait, what do you mean by that? And then he's like, oh, no, like, don't be offended. I didn't mean anything by it. It's just like, I guess two girls that, knows how to cook. I was like, oh, okay, anyway. But the way there's still that text that now we need to address. So I'm now like grumpy about him comparing me to another girl. And then I'm also mad about the babe thing. I'm like, okay, what's going on there?
So hold up a
Yeah.
sec. This is the
Mhm.
morning after,
This is the morning after their bomb sex, yes.
and you're already asking who is this other chick.
Y- Yes, 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 yes. Because for me, I'm like, I do not have enough time. Like by the way, he's only with me for like the weekend, and then he goes to his parents, and then he's like, going places and whatnot. So I'm like, I do not have time. Like, I really need to address this while I have you here.
So in your eyes, at
Yes.
that moment, what were you seeing him as? Your friend, your best friend, your fuck buddy, your boyfriend? What was he?
So now I'm seeing him between, I guess, a fuck buddy and a boyfriend. He's in between there. Now things have escalated. Literally escalated. So
Leech, my
I'm like,
guy,
wait.
you are between a rock and a hard place, my G.
I'm like, wait, I need to figure this out. Where
So
do
he's
I
not even
stand?
your friend. Like like the best friend thing is gone. You
It's
didn't even
gone.
mention
It's
that.
out of the door. It's out of the door the minute we literally laid there and had sex. It's like, okay, so
Wow.
there's no way I can say those guys are friend anymore. So let's see where we're gonna land. So anyway, I was like, so now I'm grumpy like for the most of the afternoon. And then I say, he was like, oh, are you still mad about the food thing? I was like, no, 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 it's not that. He's like, okay, then what is it? And I was like, what was that text? And then he's
Mm.
like, oh, I'm seeing someone. And I was like, what? I was like, yeah, yeah, no, like I'm seeing someone. And for some reason, I was shocked because I know he's been fucking around, but I didn't know he's like exclusive with somebody. Like, you might have forgotten to mention that, sir. And then
But
he
what difference did it
goes,
have made? Because he's having loads of
yeah,
vaginas. What difference did it have
he is,
made
but
between
like,
him having two undefined vaginas and one
yeah,
exclusive vagina? They're
yeah, but like
still
that
all
means
vaginas.
you have, yeah, but like now you have feelings for this person. It's different.
But he could still be screwing around with somebody who's not his girlfriend. This is the point
Yeah,
I'm making. Why did it make a
but he's not
difference
like
whether he
he's
had
not emotionally involved with this other. You know how like people say guys can just go around and fuck whoever and like
mm,
it's okay.
mm.
And like it's easy for guys to cheat, but like it's more intense for like a girl to cheat because you're emotionally invested in this person. So for me, yeah.
So if he had still been sleeping around with girls who are not his girlfriends and sleeping
Hmm.
with you, you'd have been
Hmm.
okay with that because they just
I would have
fuck
been
buddy.
okay with that because
Mud.
yes. Because I know who he is. Like I know who he is. I know he's been there, done that, and then he's like, ah, okay, you know what? I'm done. I'm here. So
I'd
it's
have
like,
thought
okay,
I'd have thought that's all the reason
mhm,
not to catch feelings over the text that has come. Because you know exactly
yes,
what it's about. If the guy likes to fuck around, you know
exactly,
exactly what it's like. And
exactly.
he's just being himself.
Yeah, yes, yes. So I asked him,
You
he's like, oh, yeah, I'm seeing somebody. I was like, oh, okay, then what's happening here? Because now I'm like, I have been your best friend, and all of a sudden you sort of switched to like getting us into this space. And then he's like, oh, I don't know how I can answer that. And then I'm like, wait, what do you mean you don't know how to? It's like, oh no. So remember he's in my space for the weekend. He said he will leave like, 2 days later. And then he says, I feel like whatever I say might determine how long I stay in your house.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. And then I'm like, wait, what do you mean? And they
Mm.
was like, oh, exactly that. And then I was like, oh no, because I know if I tell you that there's nothing between us, the next thing you're going to do is throw me out of the house. And
Mm.
so I can answer that. So already he's given me an answer. Like already it's like, this is what you're saying.
Yeah.
And then for some stupid reason, I was like, okay, then were you ever going, like, did you ever see us, being together like that? And then he was like, maybe, I don't know. And then I'm like, you're not even certain. Like, you are supposed to know like what you're doing. So now I have to still host him. He was like, oh, okay, so are you gonna keep me still? I was like, what? He's like, oh no, because you had promised. And then I was like, okay, you know what? It's fine, you can stay. So now there's a guy that I had just, had sex with and now I like have feelings for. And he just told me straight up in my face that he cannot do that. He cannot be exclusive with me. But still I need to keep him for like the next, 3 days.
Mm.
He's still there. And then I was like, okay, you know what? The next day I had to go to work. I was like, okay, thank God now I need a breather. I think he had borrowed. He was like, oh, can I use your car for the day because you'll be gone? I was like, yeah, no, it's fine. Not knowing that this boy used my car to go on dates in the afternoon. I come back. I come back. He's telling me, he's like, oh, was your car making some noises? And I'm like, what do you mean? He was like, or I think your car is ruined. I get in the car, Tinto, the radio is ruined. The suspension is a mess. And I'm like, what happened? He was like, oh, I don't know. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm going to fix it. And then I was like, okay, you better. It's like, yeah. So, because I just keep going on and going on. And by the way, I drive a VW and the parts are very expensive. And then he's like, no, don't worry. I'm going to fix it. And then I was like, oh, okay. So we still had to go out for like drinks and whatnot. So we're there, and I'm like, oh, by the way, you're gonna have to order food because I'm not gonna cook for you. Like you need to get food. And he's like, oh, I ate. I went on 3 dates. I'm like, excuse you.
Okay, yeah,
It's
go on.
So I'm like, okay, all right. So I was like, I'll let it slide. And I remember I saw one of my friends like at the bar that we were at. I was like, okay, let me go say hi. And he's like, how are you gonna let this fine man sit here all by himself? And you scared? And then I'm like, who do you think you are?
Mm.
Like, excuse you, sir. Anyway, I go say hi. I was like, you know what? You can do whatever you want. Like, you have already been on 3 dates, so you think you can just get any other girl. Anyway, business. I guess he didn't really get that much attention. We go home. He was like, oh, that place was dumb. And I'm just like, you know what? It's fine. And guess what? We go to the garage. I get the bill. It was like, I guess in dollars, I'd say maybe like $600. And then I gave it to him. Guess what he says? He's like, nah, I think your car was already ruined and now you just want to pin this on me.
Ay.
Yes. And then he's like, oh, is this because I said what I said? Or is this because, and now he's turning the thing on me. He's like, why didn't you tell me that your car was already, having problems? I'm not going to give you this money. And then I was like, you know what? I haven't relied on you for like, 10 years or whatever. Like, what makes you think that I'm going to get money out of you like this now? You took my car, you ruined it. You say you're going to pay for it. I was like, no, that is too much. And then those guys says, and I was like, oh, I don't think in the UK it costs that much, to fix a VW. And I think, you and your dealer are trying to steal from me. So now he's turned into this whole beta person. It's like, you took my car, like the least thing you can fix it. Anyway, you know what it does? Boy goes back without even fixing the car. And then now I'm there. It's like the car is at the garage. I don't even know how to like, get by and whatnot. And he is just living life. And then he's like, he goes back in the end. He's like, oh, you know what? I can only give you $100.
Mm.
I need $600 to fix the car. He was like, no,
How did he
I do.
manage to wreck it like that? What was he
I
doing?
have no idea. I have no idea. I'm like, are you? But like, we've got potholes in Malawi, but it's not that bad.
Hmm.
He wrecked the entire suspension. I had to fix the whole thing. But like, he had the car for 6 hours and everything was ruined. And he's only saying, no, I can only pay $100. And now I'm like, okay, you know what? How am I gonna deal with this? Because he's already put me in a situation that I'm overreacting, because things didn't work out, or maybe I'm just trying to get money out of him, being bitter and whatnot. So now I'm like, you know what? It's okay. So now I'm like, I do not care even about this whole thing, like, trying to because literally I felt like he was using me for my place. He just wanted a place to crash for a few days, and then off he goes, on these dates and do whatever. But like, that's why I said, like, you could have been honest in the first place. Like, be honest, just say, you know what, I'm going, I just need a place to stay. And nothing about, oh no, I'm going to call you, babe, I'm going to do this, and then, like, bother you up that way. I end up, I guess I got the sex at the bonus. But like,
Hmm.
with me, it was like, you should have been honest. Just say, I just want a place to stay. And we have been doing this for years. There was no need to like get us emotionally involved. So now you get us emotionally involved and you're an ass about it. And then you go ahead and drain my bank account. And you're just out there behaving as if nothing happened.
So let's just talk about that.
Yeah.
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 You had the power to say no to sex.
Mm-hmm.
You had the power to say no to using my car. You had the power to say no to your bank account being drained.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Why didn't you?
I was doing it for a friend. Like, that's the thing. He was a friend before any of these stupid situations happened.
Hmm.
So I still trusted him as a friend, as in, despite what happened, yes, it was silly, but like, I don't know, like, I valued that person. So it's like, you know what, you did this, but you can still take my car. You know,
Yeah.
you wreck my car, but you can still stay in my place for like, um, whatever days type of thing.
But what was your gut really telling you, Chifundo? What were you really feeling about your car?
The car thing. Um, I think the money thing, I don't know. It was something that I knew I had. You know how like you always have like an emergency fund type of thing. But I
Mm,
think what really hurt me the most was how he went on about it.
yeah.
This is the person I've known for 10 years. And then he's there being like, oh no, I think you're trying to get money out of me.
Mm,
And I'm there like, you should know me better, you know? So I think the way he handled it was what like really hurt the most, and being like, no, like, you be beyond whatever, situation, silliness that happens. But at the end of the day, it's more like you become family in a way.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So like, family, we take care of each other, like, no matter what, like whatever happens, you'd be like, no, I got your back. You're going to be stupid, but still I got your back, because at the end of the day, it's just the small things. Yeah.
So he gives you $100.
So he gives me handbags. At this point, I'm already pissed off. I think I just used it for drinks. And I think that was pretty much the end of our friendship.
It's funny you called it a
Yeah.
friendship
It is a friendship.
because I don't know if friends would do such a thing.
What sort of thing?
I don't know if friends would say I'm gonna
Mm,
come over, and then when they come over, they put their lips on
mm.
yours, they caress your breast, they touch your waist,
Yeah.
they do whatever they want to do with your vagina, and then
But that
eventually you
was just
feel that
one
it's
day.
yeah. I mean, it was just one day, but look at what it did. It got you
Yeah.
questioning somebody, calling him babe. It got you feeling a type
Yeah.
of way about being compared with food. It got
Yeah.
you getting rid of the boundary to say you don't ruin my car and think you can just walk away as a friend. Fix it.
Mm.
It blurred a lot of lines. So I don't know
Yeah.
if it was just a friend is a good enough excuse. I can't imagine doing any of this to my friends, both male and
Yeah.
female friends.
Yeah.
So there's a thing about boundaries here that I think was crossed by both.
Mm-hmm.
So what Leach did is turn into a fuckboy.
Yes.
And
Yes.
because you are such good friends, you had VIP access into that information. So you knew I'm dealing with a fuckboy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And for some reason you got attracted to the fuckboy so that when he said I want to come and spend the night with you, you were like, yeah, okay, maybe let's see where this goes.
Yes.
So
Yes.
what happened to the boundaries between you guys?
I'm gonna say we got too comfortable with each other.
Let me ask you. I don't want to speak for Leach because he's not here. You
Yeah.
got comfortable with him.
Yeah.
Why?
He felt safe. I'm going to say that. Yeah. He felt safe. It was like a very safe space.
And friends feel safe. That's okay.
Yeah.
And I think
Yes.
that's a good
Yeah.
thing. Did he
Yeah,
feel
it is
safe
a
to
good.
have sex with?
No.
But you
Let's
still went
see.
there.
Yeah, I did. Out of curiosity.
What were you curious about?
To see if it's something there. I guess it was one of those where like I wanted to find out, how you're like, oh, okay, I'm friends with this person. But what if, we could have been more than friends?
You see,
What if?
I've always been told that women know within the first 15 seconds of interacting with you whether they're going to sleep with you or not. Yeah,
Really?
and if they decide to do it on the first night that you
Yeah.
meet, us men go away
Yeah.
thinking, yeah, 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 she really wanted it. Yeah, the first night, yeah, yeah, she's really into me. Nah, man, it's got
Yeah.
nothing to do with us as men. It's got everything to do with the woman who
Mm.
had made the decision from the get go that I want to get me some of him.
Yes.
So, if assuming that view is correct, somewhere within
Mhm.
your mind, Chifundo, you'd have said to yourself, yeah, I'm curious about this guy and I'm going to let him have it.
Yeah.
So, you were
Uh,
prepared to let go.
I was. I was.
The only question I have is, do you regret doing that? Really?
Which part?
The sex.
The sex. The sex, no, I don't.
So, what do you regret?
I regret feeling that way. Having feelings for him. I regret having feelings
But you
for
can't
him.
help your feelings.
Yeah, I know, but like it's something that if I had just, it was something that wasn't there. If it had just stayed hidden, it would have been easier for me. But then I had to like, question that and be like, oh, okay, maybe there could be something here, you know?
Remember the time that he tried to kiss you and you said, what are you talking about?
Yes, yes,
You put
yes.
that feeling
You're
in
right.
check. You had the perfect opportunity to put that feeling in check.
Yeah, but like I wasn't honestly that I wasn't thinking of him in that way. That time he was just like any other friend.
Wow.
So now you are literally growing with this friend, and then you're
Yeah.
seeing all of these things that, any other great guy is supposed to be. And it's right there in front of you. So you can't help but wonder to be like, what if we were to become an item? And then you get into this further land of like, oh, we'd be great parents. We're going to be,
We'll be great
the
parents. Did you say we'll be
I
great
know,
parents? You
I
you
know.
were you were
Yeah.
talking babies in your mind?
You get so
What?
sucked in. You get so sucked in. And trust me, like I feel that now is something that I constantly do. Like when I meet somebody, I try to imagine to be like, what does the future look like?
Girl, what happened? What
Yeah. So
happened to
like,
living in the moment?
no, 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 no. Sometimes it's even easier and good to just like disappear in that land where like everything else is just so perfect. And then, of course, eventually you have to come down and face reality. And then it's like, oh my God, I can't believe I was even, thinking that way. Because right now, looking back, I'm just like, I cannot believe I actually thought that. And this is the person that I knew who he was. Remember, he's going through his fuckboy phase. And, I'm seeing all of that. So it's like, okay, what made me feel like, he could change and become something different? Because everything else has been right in front of me, you know?
I guess you got curious, and nobody could
Yeah.
really fault you for being curious.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but they don't say curiosity killed the cat for nothing. Because once you got
Uh,
curious and you found out,
yeah.
you got all the fuck boy energy you could get. He literally gave
Yeah.
you what he gives all the other women that he does.
Yeah. 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 It's
So
true.
I'm assuming you guys don't talk anymore.
No, we do not. We do not.
You haven't blocked each other.
I've blocked him, I think, on a few. He still follows my other Instagram accounts. I don't know. I think I just let him, I don't follow him because his account is private. I unfollowed him because I don't want to see his nonsense. But then yeah, on one account I just let him, see me flourish type of thing.
So why did you call him leech?
I called him leech. I feel like he drained me emotionally.
Even though you said
Yeah.
it's okay for you to come and stay with me.
Yeah. I,
Even though
I,
you
I
said you could
feel
have my
like
car. Even though you said you can come into my
yeah.
intimate space.
Yeah, yeah. That was in the end. I feel like right after it's like when somebody gets you on a high and just leave you there and then
Yeah.
they go on about their day as if they didn't make you feel some type of way. Anything else happening after that was just like very draining.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And the fact that I was trying so hard to be a good person, behaving as if, nothing had gone wrong
Mm-hmm.
and going through all these emotions, it was like very hard to like keep up. Yeah.
So I'm just going through your lessons.
Mm-hmm.
Face value doesn't mean shit.
Yes.
Sounds to me like face value was your friendship. Do you get what I mean?
Yes.
Because that's what you guys
Yeah.
painted to each other.
We
Me and
did.
you are friends.
Mm-hmm.
We've met on the
Yeah.
bus. You're rude. You're rude. You didn't talk to me. I go past my school. This is my school. Okay. We
Mm-hmm.
become friends. We
Mm-hmm.
have nice conversation. You're now my best friend. I tell you everything. You tell me everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
what feels to me like it doesn't mean shit.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't. It doesn't because you can paint it to be as whatever it is to be, but like when it gets down to like real life, you realize that it takes more than just being a friend.
Yeah.
It does. Yeah.
Lesson number 2, forgiveness doesn't mean that there are no consequences.
Yeah.
So what did you forgive him for?
Um, I'm going to say also like let's say him getting me into a space where he knew that there was no way me and him would like, end up being together. Um and then him ruining my car,
Mm-hmm.
um doing all these things in my face. They say going on dates. You're literally like in my space and you're going on dates, being disrespectful in my like literally in my face. So yeah, that I was like, you know what, you can do any other thing, but like it's hard to forgive that. Like I know I'm going to forgive him eventually, but I'm just like it's very hard to do that right now. So it's easier way like I just cut you off and you don't get to talk to me again, and I will forgive you, of
Right.
course. Like that's going to happen, but like just not right now.
So the consequence here is that you've lost me as a person.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
last but not least, guard your heart at all times, even from those that claim to have your best interest at heart. Yeah, I guess I kind of see that. In
Yeah.
that he claimed that you had your best interest at heart as a friend.
Mhm.
But all he really wanted was a place for him to crash,
Yeah.
an opportunity for him to sample the things,
Hmm.
a vehicle to go on his dates, and
Yeah.
then reassurance that, okay, I've screwed you over, but please keep me in your
Yeah.
intimate space. And you're like, yeah, okay, cool.
Hmm.
You guys didn't have sex
Yeah.
again?
No.
You had it just
No.
the one
No.
time?
Just the one
As
time,
good as it was?
unfortunately.
That's a genuine
Unfortunate.
question. It's okay to
Unfortunate.
say we had it again if you
Yeah.
did.
No. 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 It was literally just that one time.
You didn't
I
wish
did
for a
just
second
one.
time?
It's hard now. It's hard like it's hard now like to think of that person like in a very
Yeah,
intimate
now,
way.
but then when you were still at your house, you didn't think about a second time?
Not really, no. I think it was just like too much to process. Like whatever he was not
Mm.
just doing, he was doing. Like it was just like too much to process. So like I didn't find him attractive again. Like I'd look at him and be like, I can't believe you're doing this to me right now. Yeah. Yeah, so we didn't.
There's one thing I'm just going to point out. You've really told an incredible story here.
Yeah.
But a lot of it, especially from your last statement, was, I can't believe you did this to me now.
Yeah.
There's accountability is a really big thing and a really important thing.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just talk about what you could have been accountable for as Chifundo,
Yeah.
right? You knew that being in a house share
Mm-hmm.
and having a man sleep in your bedroom could be problematic.
Mm-hmm.
And you're presented with two choices. Say yes or
Yes.
no.
Yeah,
And you said yes.
I did.
So this is no longer his problem. He's presented a desire that you said yes to.
Mm-hmm.
So it's equally your problem.
It is.
Now he's in your intimate space. He's saying to you, I want to have some cookie.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you're presented with two choices. I could
Or
treat you
maybe
like
I was the one who. Maybe I was the one who initiated it. You never know.
Well, you tell me. Was it you?
Yes, I think it was.
What did you do?
Well, you know, yeah, you know.
I don't. What did you do?
I just had made sure that he was seeing things the right way.
Okay, and what does that look like?
So that looks like, getting like I don't know, for some reason I was so ready for him coming. Like I bought all these nice lingeries, like, as I'm going to look very cute. Well, like I'm irresistible. Yeah. So I feel like I put that, like, on the platter and be like, here's this. Yeah, you take it or leave it. Like I was gonna be okay. Like, if he does whatever.
So I think we need to change the language here to say that he did this.
Yeah.
Because you equally have a part to play.
Yes, I do. So we did this. We did.
I'm going to add a
Yeah.
fourth lesson just as I wrap this up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lesson number
What's
4.
that?
Accountability matters.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because
that's a good one.
because I
Mhm.
feel you had a good part to play in all of this.
Yeah.
Obviously
we did.
I think you guys had good intentions as
Mhm.
friends. But
Yeah.
somewhere along the lines it got lost.
True. True.
And it's very easy to shift blame to say, no, he did this, he did that. But
Yeah.
especially with the description you just gave now, you had a part to play in making him feel a type of way. This guy couldn't control himself. He's a fuckboy.
That is also true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi.
So.
I got nothing more to say. Yeah, because it's really thrown me off. And you see, I'm trying to see how I'm going to position this when I post it. And I'm posting it tonight, by the way.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
yeah, so we're recording this on Friday, the 28th of October, and this is going to be up by the
Yeah.
29th of
Oh.
October, which is tomorrow.
Oh my god.
only because I am so confused on whether I should position this as a friendship breakup or romantic, because it's a combination of both.
It
And I was
is
speaking
a
to
combination of both.
and I was speaking to one of my good friends just before this phone call,
Yeah.
because there
Yeah.
was a tweet that says this
Yeah.
whole male female bestie thing is just weird.
It is weird. Because
Right.
eventually one of you always catches feelings.
And then you come on and then you give me this episode and I'm like what the fuck? Do you know what I mean?
Always. It's a sham. It's a sham. It should
Ah.
never be a thing. 'Cause
So
always.
just as I close
Yeah.
this out, do you have another male best friend now?
I do not. I do not.
Are you very likely going to have another one?
I doubt it.
Okay.
I doubt it.
All right.
Yeah, I think the next best friend is gonna be the person I guess I date. So
Mud. It's a mud
yeah.
thing. Anyway, thanks so much, Chifundo, for that incredible episode. I've really enjoyed recording this.
Here.
And,
Thank you.
and happy belated birthday, by the way. It looks like you had an absolutely smashing time.
Was amazing.
Yeah,
that was amazing. I'm
I could
actually
tell.
at the lake right now,
Yeah.
still celebrating. Yeah, that was amazing.
Have fun. And you guys have been
Thank you.
listening to another episode of The Feeling Station. I'm your host, Tinto, and I will catch you in next weekend's episode.
My name is Bestie. cheka kama, toto cheka kama, my nini, seku, bestie.